Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So we are rolling. Hopefully it doesn't shut off on us like it did last time. Obstacle here.
Cool.
Cool. So Parker Crumpler here with Frontline Revenue Media. Here again with you don't mind your name being mentioned.
Luther. Yeah,
Luther. Okay, cool. With Luther, and you know, he's back. He's got a couple questions still that we didn't address last time. And, so what are your thoughts? You know, about you still want to start a digital marketing company, right?
Yes,
Cool.
yes. I still want to start digital marketing. So far I've been learning a lot. Yeah, I try to have as much as foundation as possible to learn about it. Even if it's not a service that I envision providing, but I still want to know about it, so I can better serve my clients.
Are you going to be
direct them to the right place?
cool? Are you going to be full service, or are you just going to do like a couple?
I want to start with a couple, the areas that I think that I have strength in, and eventually spread out to provide full services. And if I need to do a little bit of outsourcing, if I need to get freelancers on board, or eventually that's where I want to go.
Okay, cool. What do you specialize in as far as like?
So right now I specialize in Facebook advertising
Mhm.
and then YouTube management and
Okay.
monetization.
Because you have your channel now with, you said, over 4 million?
4 million views.
Wow.
That's correct. And that's in 2 years. So in 2 years.
4 million viewers in 2 years' time.
In 2 years' time.
That's a pretty nice following you've got.
Yes. And the other thing about this is that it's, I would not say other nations or other people don't watch it besides Haitians, but it's mostly, I would say 95% of Haitian.
Okay.
So it's not a global thing, right? Because
It's a
the
niche
videos,
market.
right, exactly. So the videos are not in English;
Correct.
they're all in Creole.
I was wondering what the 5% is. Who else?
So Haitian are not the only ones who speak Creole. So we have people from Guadeloupe or Martinique.
Martini Island or Martin Islands?
Martin Islands, I believe that's how they're called. But in French it's Martinique, and then it's Guadeloupe, and then it's so much.
So any islands that were like French colonized that still speak
Right,
Creole.
exactly.
And their culture still relates to
The culture is related, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering if it was like if there's a certain group of people out there that but no, that's cool. I told my buddy Josh about it. He's from Haiti. His cousin Darren's Haitian. I don't think Darren ever lived there, but I know Josh lived there for a couple years when he was a kid, so he would definitely like,
Awesome. I can work together with them.
Yeah, should be here in a minute. So, now as far as like starting your own digital marketing company, what questions did you still have that you think might be able to help you? We're a startup. We're still about not even 60 days into it. So,
So my question is, how do you, I guess, differentiate yourself from the mass? Because you're not the only digital
Correct.
marketing agency out there in Orlando.
correct. It's a very saturated market. There's a lot of companies that are doing this right now. So that's a really good question. How do you differentiate yourself at all? I will say most companies send the same generic emails, the same kind of, hey, this is what I do, this is how I can help you out. You've got to, and it's a sales process, AIDA. You've got to get their attention, you've got to get their interest, and you got to get them to make a decision upon that interest, and then you got to get them to take action. So what I've done is kind of, still again, we're only 60 days not even into this thing, but and I'm new to this industry myself. I come from the car business and the hospitality industry, but I know sales and I know AIDA. So as long as I have that format, I just have to find out how to apply it. And I actually developed something today. I'll show you here later, but that's exactly what I did. So as far as the attention, you simply get their attention by asking them a question like, do you know what your most valuable keywords are? And they might not know. They might not even know what you're talking about. But everybody knows Google. And I could say, hey, even though you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you get emails all the time. I'm sure you would also agree, Mr. Business Owner, that every customer that comes into your store, whether you're at a dentist's office or whether you're at a tire shop, does not matter. Online retailer would be a little different, but every one of your customers has a mobile device.
Right.
So whether that be in their hand, their pocket, or their purse, wouldn't you agree that they all have it? And then you get them into a place where they agree with you, and they say, well, yeah, they acknowledge that fact. And so you paint that picture that every one of your customers that has one of these also goes on there for information.
Yeah.
So you got to make them realize how important this thing right here is and how important your services are for this. We used to advertise through TV, through radio, and I'm sure at one point in your business you would probably spend considerable amount of money on TV advertising if it made sense to you, if you could get a good deal on it and so forth. The reason a lot of people never did is because it was so expensive, and the reason why it was expensive is because it worked.
Right.
However, the world's changing. Like I said, people go on this for information.
Yeah.
They don't go on the TV when you're watching TV. If you don't have Netflix, if you're not on Amazon Prime services, if you're actually watching a basic cable subscription, you probably pause it or silence. If you're not DVRing it, then you're muting the commercials. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many different facets of how the world's changing and how this is instrumental in all those facets. However, the old school way of advertising is dead. So you've got to make the customer realize the value in that. Most of these other people probably never just did a good job of that in the first place. And so if you can get the customer's attention, they're a business owner at this point. If you're in their office or if you have them on the phone, you already have their attention. You got to get them interest in what you're telling them or what you have. And like you said, you do that by differentiating yourself. So the way I do it is just like strike a question at them. People also have a fear of missing out on something. So if you show them, hey, your Google rating right now is a 3.2. You know how many customers don't do business with a 3.2?
Yeah.
They probably don't know the answer. The answer is 80%. So 80% of people, because let's say 100% of people have one of these now. 100% of your customers have one of these. 80% of them you're missing out on because you're under 4.0. They don't understand that. Once you get them to understand that, then they trust you. Then they see value in what you have to say. Then they see all the problems that you're pointing out because they trust that you're an authoritative figure. And once you got them at that point, you're the person that's going to solve their problems. You're the person that's going to be able to bring up solutions to these. One thing I found that's going to work well for you probably, it's worked for me, is what they call a tripwire. So if you've got their attention, it's really hard to sell all your services off a cold call or walking into a place. It's hard to get any business at all. I mean, let's be honest. So what you do is set up a tripwire. Hey, once you've got their attention, once you ask them, do you know what your most valuable keywords are? No, I don't. I don't even know what that means. All right, so let me do this. Let me do a keyword research package for you. It's going to take about 4 to 5 hours for me to do that research for you, to come up with a thorough assessment. I'll charge you $49 for it, $50. And then typically they'll always say yes. There's $50, you can't go wrong.
Right.
It's information. There's no obligation to do further business. But once you've done that, you've got their business. And you've got a relationship with them. and then a week later or a few days later, you come back with that proposal and you say, this is what I've come up with. And it's a whole lot easier to sell your services now because you've already sold a $50 package, even though it's nothing.
Right.
It's $50, but it's a tripwire. So that works pretty well, especially with like dentists or any kind of doctor's office. Because those people are hard to get their trust. Analytical people
Yeah.
are always looking for something wrong in what you're doing.
Right. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
they're always looking for a fall through a way that you're not.
Mhm.
That's how they are successful. But you just got to build the value, build the trust, and once you've got that $50 package and you present all that value, and then it's like, all right, so do you want to optimize these keywords? Do you want to make sure they pop up higher on the Google index? Now that we know what all this is, do you want us to do something about it? That's pretty much where you're at. It's a whole lot easier to sell your services at that point.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. And so to add to that, so once you've got the client, right?
Once you've got them committed to a monthly figure,
Right.
what I try to do is let them know also before, let's say I have them at a $5,000 a month package. So the reason that they're giving me the money in the first place is because they understand it's an investment, they're going to get a return on the investment.
Mhm.
And so therefore, you let them know, once we start seeing further returns, we're going to expand that budget. And you get in on this, to agree.
How do you measure that?
That's a good question. So every business is different, and there's different marketing strategies. Some work quicker than others, some take longer than others. Like content marketing, you let them know it's going to take 3 to 6 months to see any good results.
Okay.
And so at this point, $5,000 a month, you've already got them on a 3 to 6 month commitment, mentally, even if it's not contractually. Still, you got the business owner engaged mentally to that degree, and so you can pretty much count on that money. Also, you've already opened the door to let them know that once we start seeing returns, we're going to expand that budget. So that $5,000 becomes $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month. And you kind of get them to agree to that before, so it's like not 3 months down the road, and now you want more money, because usually they'll want less, not more. So you gotta paint the value picture. You gotta get to understand why you're giving the money in the first place. But any business owner should know that because
Right.
that's why they're there. So,